Okay.
Coming up on the Paranormal After Party.
I'm gonna put you next to Jenny.
Didn't Chris say that it used to...
Is that you, Tyler?
No.
So I laugh because I'm like, it's not surprising to me. I'm like, I'm waiting for it. I'm just waiting because I'm like, okay.
Well, there are children here.
Hey, dig it down here. Come on. Did you just hear that?
Yeah, I heard it.
We're here in historic Gettysburg with Chris. We're at the Jennie Wade house. Can you tell me where we are right now?
Oh, we are standing actually in the kitchen of the Jennie Wade house. This is the kitchen in which Jennie was actually shot and killed in. She was standing behind the door off to my left here and baking bread or working on kneading dough early in the morning hours of July 3rd when a sharpshooter from up the street actually was sighting his rifle on the doorknob of the house and missed his mark. The bullet entered through the first door, went through the second door, and then entered the small of Jennie's back, piercing her heart, killing her instantly. Her mother heard the sound of her daughter's body hitting the floor, turned around, saw it, let out a cry, and then walked into the parlor where Jennie's sister and her baby nephew were all sleeping, woke her sister up and told her, "Georgia, your sister is dead." And then pretty much from there, that scream though that Mrs. Wade let out actually alerted 2 Union soldiers who were near the house. They came in through the other side of the house, came down from the upstairs, the stairs behind you, and then into the kitchen here, saw Jennie's body, went into the parlor and found the rest of her family. Pretty much after that, they said, we gotta get these people out of here. We can't stay here, because at that point, bullets were ricocheting. The Confederates had seen 2 Union soldiers actually moving about in this house, and they did not know at that time there were civilians still living here, or staying here for that matter. So, 2 Union soldiers pretty much said, you gotta follow us. They took a blanket off the bed that's in the parlor, wrapped Jennie's body in it, motioned for the family to follow them, went back the way they came, managed to get down into the basement of the Widow McLean's side of the house, and that's where they stayed until approximately 2 days later when Jennie's body could be buried. And that was out in the backyard.
And why did they wait to bury?
They couldn't actually get out of the house at that point. They were actually pretty much trapped in here through the rest of July 3rd. July 4th, they were kind of stuck. They couldn't really do much. There was a lot still going on, activity. The Union soldiers were still here, and Mrs. Wade actually came back up to help bake bread for the Union soldiers. She was so thankful that she had gotten her daughter and the rest of her family out.
Amazing that, yeah.
Yes.
That's dedication, I tell you.
It is dedication. So on July 5th, the family was actually finally able to go out and bury her body. So, but it stayed in the basement for approximately 2 days before they could actually bury her.
Wow. Now, so how long have you been doing this?
I started back in 2004.
So you've heard all the stories and experiences of the people that have walked through here.
I've had experiences of my own.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about one of it that sticks out in your mind?
I get along, and I've always noticed this. I will start off by saying every ghost guide, storyteller we've had, they have different experiences in the house. And it depends location-wise as well. Some get experience down here in the parlor and the kitchen area, some experience more upstairs, some in the basement. I will personally say I have seen Mr. Wade down in the basement. He has physically appeared to a group of 30 plus people on one of my tours.
Really? Wow.
Yes, that was exciting to say the least, and it was probably the one that sticks out the most in my mind. It was during one of our haunted houses at midnight when I first started working here, tour guide. And at midnight, the cool thing is we shut the lights off on you. So you have 30 people down in the basement, all of them sitting down in their benches and chairs, and I'm standing up front telling the stories about Mr. Wade and the history of Mr. Wade's ghost down in the basement, when all of a sudden the lights go off at midnight. And sitting, and you can imagine, 30 people, all with cameras, down in the basement, flashes of light, everything like that going off. So I turned my head to get away from all the light, and sitting in a rocking chair, like right next to me, is an elderly man.
Wow.
Gray beard, suit, everything like this. And he very slowly gets up from the chair, walks through the chain next to me, straight down the aisle past everybody, and right to the back corner where Mr. Wade likes to hide, so to speak, and then disappears. My mouth falls open and I'm pointing. I can't say anything. Yeah, I'm like, and then finally I managed to get out. Is anybody else seeing this? Entire front row of people. In fact, the guy sitting on the edge of the bench fell off the bench because he was so like, oh my gosh, this guy just walked through something. So yes, and we have pictures that somebody actually got the outline of a man walking towards the back corner.
Now he was dressed in period clothing?
He was dressed in period attire, yes, and it was like a dark suit. It was very strange. Like I remember seeing it and glimpsing it and just going, I don't remember somebody sitting there. And then I was like, wait a minute, there is nobody sitting there. There's a chain there. So yeah, it was the darker. It was black slacks. He had like almost a black smoking jacket on, a white shirt, and then he had like kind of like a tie on, and then like the long gray beard with the slick back gray hair. And I've never seen photographs of Mr. Wade at all, but I was just like, that has to be him because he's the only one down here that I know of, and just felt right. And I was like, yes, this is definitely a different experience for me.
Now, what is Mr. Wade's first name?
It's James.
I was just curious, because if we do during the course of the evening pick up names, we like to match them. Now, you had mentioned experiences that others have had here, women and children.
Yes.
You want to elaborate on that?
Yes, actually, it's very interesting. And the upstairs part of this house, it's not haunted by the residents that lived here in this house. Jenny's sister does not haunt the upstairs part of this house. Her husband doesn't. Her children don't. Georgia didn't live for very long in the house after Jenny had been shot and killed. And you can probably imagine why. Her mother, not in the upstairs. We get them down here in these two rooms. Upstairs, though, we get a lot of activity from children's spirits, particularly the ones in the orphanage building. And the reason for that is when the orphanage opened up, the families that were living here in this house did kind of take care of some of their kids because they had kids of their own, and the orphans would come over and play with them. And this house became a sanctuary for those orphans. Because, especially during Rosa Carmichael's reign of terror over in the actual orphanage building. Very tragic, very dark time for the orphanage building. So those kids, a lot of times the families would take them in. If they were sick, they'd nurse them back to health. They'd mend their clothing. They'd make sure they were fed. So these kids associate this house with a place of home and sanctuary.
Comfort.
Yes, comfort. So a lot of those spirits are drawn back here, and they like to stay in the upstairs part of the house, and that's because that's where the children's rooms were a lot of the times, or where they were nursed back to health.
Gotcha.
So they are drawn to that part. And yes, when I've noticed with at least my tour, I get a lot more activity upstairs. Like I said, most of our guides, we have different experiences, different stories, that kind of stuff, but some of them will get more here, some upstairs. Mine is the upstairs. I will get more activity out of the upstairs in an evening than a lot of times down in like the basement or here on this side. And they attach themselves to children and women. Women a lot of times will go in, they'll feel like somebody's giving them a hug around their legs, like little kids will do.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Take them by the hand. Sometimes they feel like something's reaching out from under the bed and grabbing them by the ankles.
Wow.
I've had little kids a lot of times start talking, like especially small ones that just are learning to talk, start talking to something in the corner of the room. You're just like,
get out of here, really?
What are you doing? So yes, a lot of it has been.
And I always say I trust the children and the animals. As far as they have nothing to lie about or hide. Would you recommend that we use the women from our group here?
I would think you would find you'd probably get a little bit more activity out of the kids upstairs if you did have women upstairs tonight. I think it would be a good idea just to see how much we can draw them out. They're very drawn to, like I said, either younger women or a lot of times like motherly kind of figures. So
I think we have one of each.
Which works out well.
Thank you so much for your time, and maybe hopefully you can stick around and
yes.
do a little investigating.
That's cool. Never done it before. Thank you.
So much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
You would think she's a mannequin.
Shot. I don't know. I can't take him nowhere. This guy.
We are here at the Jenny Wade house, room that Jenny slept in.
Jenny, her mother, and Georgia, her sister, stayed in this room during the time of the battle.
If anyone is here with us and wants to communicate with us, you're welcome to turn that on and off. If you want to answer questions, let us know you're here.
Is Jenny with us?
Jenny or Mrs. Wade, are you here with us tonight?
The light just blinked and the K2 went off.
Oh. Is there anyone other than Jenny or Mrs. Wade with us here tonight? We're told there are children here. If you want to come talk to us.
Jenny, what happened to you in the kitchen?
I catching some shadow play in the kitchen area.
Was she alone when she died?
Her mother was in the room with her.
You probably get a lot of visitors here, I'm sure. What was that sound? Did you hear that?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it came from the kitchen or us.
It sounded like it came from the kitchen.
Is there anybody out in the kitchen that would like to come in here and join us?
It's okay, we don't mean you any harm. We just want to learn about you and understand what happened to you and why you're still here.
I got all kinds of pins and needles going on.
The bench is really hard.
That was true, yeah.
I had chills when I was standing over here
No, I've got
touching the bed.
like the back of my head tingling.
You can come in here.
Here's
I've had an interesting encounter in this part of the house.
Yeah.
From one of the children's spirits upstairs.
Oh.
So I laugh because I'm like, it's not surprising to me. I'm like, I'm waiting for it. I'm just waiting because I'm like, okay.
Oh, wow. That's so neat. But yeah, the lines keep breaking in the on that far wall right there, back and forth. And there's nobody moving. And Pam, you're moving, but there's
Not
no
in the
way
line of...
Yeah. Is there a child spirit in here? Can I note something real quick? I don't know if anybody heard that just now, but it sounded like a little bit of giggling or talking somewhere over there. That's all I'm gonna say.
Near the stairwell.
Okay. Is there a girl here? A little girl?
Yes.
Are you in the kitchen?
Are you afraid to come in here and talk to us?
I'm getting kind of a mixed...
Signal.
Yeah, nothing very distinct. I'm getting kind of like, almost like tee-hee-hee-hee kind of feeling. That kind of, like, you funny.
Yeah.
Battlefield Bed and Breakfast. The inn is an 1809 fieldstone farmhouse on the Gettysburg battlefield with 10 beautiful guest rooms that reflect the history of the historic property. The B&B has 2 wedding venues, wedding gardens, 30 acres of nature preserve, and is a popular historic tourist destination. The farm was the site of a cavalry charge and a cavalry camp. Dog-friendly and family-friendly. Book your stay today.
It is cold here. What temperature is it?
43.7.
43 degrees here. I'm gonna put you next to Jenny.
Didn't Chris say that there was Mr. Wade was down here and is this the spot he walked through?
Chris?
Was that a
Q? Off camera lady.
Q line. Yes, Mr. Wade's ghost is the one that supposedly haunts the basement down here. And there are several theories that revolve around that. The idea is that one is that this is the first resting place of her body, so his spirit is attracted back to this place. There's also the theory, though, that it's not because it's the first resting place of his daughter's body, but Mr. Wade has a very dark history, and he couldn't be here at the time of the battle. He couldn't be here for that one moment when his family really needed him. So his spirit is drawn back to this place because I think in some recollection it realizes that he should have been here and he wasn't.
And where did you see him that time?
I actually experienced him
Come on over.
Okay, I wasn't sure I was
No,
there.
please join
Over
us.
the staircase. Yes, actually the time that I saw him was right over in the rock. Well, it was a rocking chair. The rocker part has been removed, but yes, in that chair.
You know what? Can I place an EMF meter on that rocking
Sure,
chair?
go ahead.
You
That's
can
one of the
actually, I
spots
think
that
you
he
can
likes.
sit in that rocking chair. Pam was saying before that she sat in there once before and she got
I
like
can
a
sit
weird,
in this?
Yes, yeah. She got a weird feeling.
You better get this on camera so when he goes through it.
I will also tell you I've experienced Mr. Wade pinching me when I got too close to his chair. It wasn't bad, it was just like a little hey, you're too close to the spot that I'm already standing.
Any action over there, boss?
Not yet. Hey, Mr. Wade,
What's
are
the
you here?
purpose of the corn?
Oh, well, cellars in the days where we used to also house preservatives, if you already noted, it's colder down here than the rest of the house. It's still warmer than outside, but
What was that
colder
noise?
down here.
I heard a woo.
Did you just hear that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
heard
heard
it.
that too.
Yeah.
Ooh, like a woman's
Yeah.
crying. Like, hopefully we got it on the recorder.
I thought it was you doing like your stomach making
No, not this time.
It wasn't your stomach, Bill?
No, it came
No,
from
it was my
behind you.
stomach.
The
What's the
K2 just went
flashing
off.
light?
K2 just went once.
I was gonna say, what does the flashing light on the meter over there mean?
Yeah,
Right.
K2.
That's
I
the
was looking
K2.
at that one. The one with the numbers increasing.
Numbers?
Oh, it was flashing?
Yeah, it flashed blue.
That means EMF. That means that
Electromagnetic field.
So we're getting hits down there, because that K2 just went off.
Temperature went up 2 degrees. That's weird.
Mr.
That's
Wade, are
weird.
you here with us?
Did you just hear something?
I just heard him talk, yeah.
Something said something
Yeah.
just now.
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah.
It came from your direction, where you're
It's
sitting.
like right here.
right here.
Jenny,
Oh,
I want to see if that's Jenny that was crying or made that noise. Jenny, is that you?
Mr. Wade, is it okay that I'm sitting in your chair? There's a green light here. Can you light up the next light or touch that green light?
Is Jenny herself here? Jenny, if you are here, if there's any way possible to just give us some sort of sign.
I think they wanted bread because they're tired of hardtack.
No, I would agree.
Oh.
Yeah, you were tired of hardtack. That's why you wanted the bread. Can you light that light up one more time, please?
How was that bread? Was it good? Are you still with us? Is that wind?
I know we had a voice before. We had two voices. One was a woman and one was a
Yeah, the
guy.
woman's
I heard
voice
that one
came
over
from there.
That one came right
And
over
the
by
male's
Bill.
voice was over here, definitely.
Ed and Mike Flip, Jenny Wade house. We're in the parlor of the non-McClellan side. What was the name on the side, Ed?
I don't remember it.
Ed, you have glasses, come on.
Why, that's supposed to make me remember?
We count on you to be the smart one.
Boy, you're in trouble.
Why we pay you all this money?
Kristin? Kristin? Kristin?
Somebody was outside that window and then just went up.
Yeah, because we can run that way.
Somebody was outside that window and then just went up.
Yeah, because we can run that way.
Somebody was outside that window and then just went up.
Yeah, because we can run that way. Who's here with us tonight? Have any of the family members come back here to hang around the house? What can you tell us about the battle? It's probably pretty scary, huh? The whole house creaks.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's gonna be tough.
You know, in the kitchen right there, it felt a little funky around the hearth.
By the heart.
Is that, you didn't move, right? See where the thing's open by the hearth? Keep focused over there. Stomach.
So glad that was your stomach.
Why?
Because it was pretty freaky sounding.
I had some pretty freaky ziti for dinner. How do you feel about tens of thousands of people coming through your house? That's my step. That's me getting up. That's my step in here. Are you a part of the family, or did you just come to this house? It seems like a cool place to stay. You know, let's grab a stop. We'll move through the house. I mean, the recording's gonna be crazy because it'll be creaking, but. What's going on over here? There's a whole different feel in this corner. Walk over there. It's almost like a lightheadedness in there.
Probably a lighthead in this in here. Probably a lighthead in this in here.
It almost smells like gas heat. You go head up to the bedrooms. Noise upstairs.
Noise upstairs. Noise upstairs.
Hopefully the recorder just caught it. It was almost like a female whisper. Just heard it again. Ed, you hear it?
Yeah, I heard it that time.
Who's upstairs?
Who's upstairs? Who's upstairs?
Mike, you want to go? I'm a little scared. Go ahead. Here, it's weird. Although there is a Willy Wonka effect in the ceilings. Are you up here? Is that you typing?
No.
Is that why you're not moving? It's like tapping on the wall behind you.
Yeah.
Who's in the house tonight? If you tell us who you are, we'll talk to you. I like addressing people by their names. Ed, what are you getting downstairs?
I just heard something downstairs. A female voice downstairs.
It was almost like a childlike.
It was almost like a childlike. It was almost like a childlike.
Or a female whisper that 2 times in a row. And I don't know if you caught it the first time. You caught it the second time.
I caught it the second time. I couldn't catch it the
As
first
soon as
time.
I went to the base of the stairs, I heard it the first time.
Watch your head, Mike.
Are you messing with us? That's pretty cool though. Little random voices in the house.
Alright, I just gotta ask you a favor, please. Just let them do their job first.
Oh my god, I'm so freaked out right now.
They're talking to us, so we're doing good things.
Nobody? You say nobody? The female said nobody.
Well, the results speak for themselves. Keep doing what we're doing. Have fun with the investigations.
Oh, wow!
All right, same session. We're still upstairs. We're about to go down to the basement, but there's something going on.
We're about to go down to the basement, but there's something going on. We're about to go down to the basement, but there's something going on.
We're up here where you wanted us. A little
K2.
fluctuation over
Yep,
there.
it's been blinking a little bit.
I'm seeing something like over in here.
Well, yeah, there's like a cold spot moving around.
Where my hand is?
Yeah, just a little.
Because I was looking at this
further past
light and there was something, yeah, it went like this. Come close to us, grab my hand, please.
You know what? It's almost like.
Come close to us. Grab my hand, please.
You know what? It's almost like.
Come close to us. Grab my hand, please.
You know what? It's almost like 3 feet tall.
Is there something you want to show us?
Okay, the hood on my jacket just got pulled.
Whip around so you go behind head.
Go behind head. Go behind head.
Who just pulled Ed's hood? Mike, do I look fat in thermal?
Huge.
Told you not to use thermal.
It's almost to your right, and then over in the corner, it's just like hovering. Yep, now you're touching it.
That's the dress. Is this yours? Is that what you want to show us, your pretty dress?
Is that what you want to show us? Your pretty dress? Is that what you want to show us? Your pretty dress?
You know, I have a daughter. She used to wear pretty dresses when she was young. Can you move that dress? Ed, do you want it? Or you got me?
I'm only catching part of it.
Come to this side of me. Who just said no?
Come to this side on me. Who just said no? Come to this side on me. Who just said no?
See, I'm touching your dress. Can you touch it? Can you make it move like that? That dress starts moving. I don't care if I fall down those stairs. I'm getting out.
I just figured they'd get a hit on that. That didn't work. Is there anything hidden down here that no one's found?
You looking for that golden
Never
satchel?
know. Never know back then. There'd be some
It's up in
Confederate money,
It's up
gold.
in the back of the chimney.
Is there
It's
gold in
hiding.
this building? Chris saying she's waiting for that light to flash. She's going, dig
She's
down
gonna
here.
say,
Come on.
every day.
I'm going down with my metal detector.
I just took one every day. Nobody's gonna know.
Mine's in the truck.
Each day they come down here. Why is there a brick missing?
Basement again. Do you like people in the basement? Bullet. Are you still upset with yourself? Yes. Why do you feel that if the soldiers weren't here for the bread and were in eating hardtack that your daughter'd still be alive? Yes.
Yes. I'm coming. I'm coming.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Saying I'm coming.
We got that upstairs tonight too.
Really? Yeah.
Help me, I'm coming. Help is the one that got me jumping. I didn't expect
Love.
it to be so clear.
Is there an Enfield rifle in this house?
Yes. Yes.
If I brought a Springfield rifle in here, would you be happy? No.
No. Said no.
Oh, you guys came for this.
Yeah, Springfield was used by the Confederates, though.
Okay.
Yeah. Right, we had the woman's voice, we had the man's voice.
The man's voice was here. The woman's
to-
voice was over there.
We had definitely some couple hits on the EMF meter on the K2 over there. When we were asking some questions about Mr. Wade and Mr. Wade, you know, when I sat in his chair, when Steve and I switched, there really was no real difference.
We got some names as
on
far
the
as
Echo Bucks.
Wade and
Jennie,
McClellan.
McClellan.
There were some sounds that we heard. We don't know if they were voices from outside. We did hear a female voice earlier, and then we heard that male voice, which was right in my ear when I was
right
sitting.
next to you. Yeah. I can't deny that because it was between you and I definitely heard it clear as day.
Yeah.
You know, so that
So that definitely was not outside. That was definitely inside. And, you know, I'd like to come back here again. This was a lot of fun.
Yep.